Hi, everyone. Welcome to the MOACAC presentation. I'm going to turn it over to our panelists in just a few moments, but I just wanted to go over a couple housekeeping items. There is a Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. Your video is off and your microphone is off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you, but she can communicate with you through that Q&A box. So you'll want to make sure that you ask your questions through there. Just a reminder, there are more sessions on our MOACAC website, so we'll ask you to take a look at the website and sign up for any additional sessions. And this session is being recorded, so it will be available on the MOACAC website about a week after the session's complete. So with that being said, I'll turn it over to Anna.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Anna and I'm the undergraduate admissions counselor at Florida Southern College for Missouri. I also work with students all over the Midwest, but today we're just focusing on you students in Missouri. I'm so excited to be here and I'm so excited to share a little bit about Florida Southern with you all. As your admissions counselor, I'll be your main point of contact for the entire application process. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me one-on-one with any questions. And my contact information is going to be included on the last slide, but you can also find it really easily on our Florida Southern College website. To get started with some basic information, Florida Southern is located in the city of Lakeland, which is almost exactly halfway between Tampa and Orlando. So we are in a really ideal location in terms of access for out-of-state students because there's two major airports to choose from in Tampa and Orlando. And we also enjoy the benefits of being really close to all the beaches, especially St. Pete and Clearwater, which are about 40-45 minutes from Lakeland. And Disney's also super close in Orlando, and we're about 45 minutes from Disney as well. Besides that, Lakeland itself is really the ideal college town. We have a lot of locally owned coffee shops and cafes. We have 2 movie theaters, an outdoor shopping mall, and lots of spaces for outdoor recreation, such as walking the paths surrounding many of our lakes. And Florida Southern is on one of those lakes. It's about 2.89 miles around. So it's a really awesome place to get some exercise, especially in the fall when the weather's a lot nicer. In terms of Florida Southern itself, we were founded in 1883, which makes us one of the oldest private colleges in the state of Florida, which is something that we're really, really proud of. We have about a 15-acre campus and we have about 3,500 students total. So it's a comfortable size. It's not too big and not too small either. And of those students, about 60% are from the state of Florida and 40% are from out of state, representing nearly all 50 states and 50 foreign countries as well. Here at Florida Southern, we have over 70 different programs of study across 5 different schools. And those schools are business, nursing and health sciences, School of Physical Therapy, School of Education, School of Arts and Sciences, and that does include fine arts as well. Some of our most popular majors include biology and marine biology, nursing, which is a direct entry program, business, musical theater, and education. And we are a liberal arts college at our core, so no matter what your major is, students will receive a really well-rounded degree. And 40% of our students double major or pick up a minor along the way. So if you are interested in more than one subject, there are opportunities to pursue multiple fields at a time. For students looking to continue their education past the bachelor's level, such as going to med school or law school, different things like that, we do offer 16 pre-professional tracks for students. And this is specific coursework and advising designed to prepare you for the application process to those graduate and professional programs. We also have some graduate programs here on campus. This includes several 4+1 accelerated master's degrees. And these programs allow you to start taking graduate level courses your junior or senior year so that after graduation, you only have 1 year left to complete your Master's in Business Administration, Master's of Accounting, or Master's of Education. And soon we'll have a 4+1 option for a Master's in Industrial and Organizational Psychology as well. And if you'd like more info about those programs, definitely feel free to reach out to me and I'm happy to help. In terms of academics, we do take a really personal approach to education. And that's in part because of our our small school size, we also have a pretty small class size. So our average class size is around 18 students, and we have a 14-to-1 student faculty ratio. All of our courses are taught by professors only, so we never have graduate students or teaching assistants leading courses, and this just ensures that all of our students are learning from experts in their field at all times. We do have a really big emphasis on engaged and experiential learning, so you are going to be an active participant in your classroom, and that is regardless of your major. And basically this just means that we believe in the power of learning by doing and immersing our students in their field as soon as possible. One of my favorite examples of this engaged learning philosophy is within our biology department. So every single first-year biology student does a research project for an entire semester. So this research project is in conjunction with the Tiny Earth Network, which is a big network of schools that are doing antibiotic resistance research. So students on campus go out into the community, you collect soil samples, you bring them back to our lab and analyze those soil samples for antibiotic properties. And within the last couple of years, our students have found over 250 different and new antibiotic properties that were previously unknown, which is super awesome. And as a result, our students have gotten to publish papers, give presentations, different things like that, which is always really exciting, especially for your first year on college campus. Our nursing department is also super hands-on. And like I said, it is a direct entry nursing program. So students start nursing classes your first year, and you are in clinical rotations by your sophomore year. We also have a really awesome state-of-the-art nursing building. There's mannequins that, oh gosh, they talk, they bleed, they vomit, they give birth. They basically help you practice different nursing techniques before you go on to your clinical rotations. And that's all on campus. There's labs, simulation labs even. So it's a really, really awesome hands-on program too. Another really cool example is within our communication department. We actually have a photo on that presentation of our CBS affiliate studio, which is right on campus and allows students to get hands-on real-life broadcasting experience without having to go too far away. So obviously, I mean, hands-on learning definitely looks different for each major, but there's so many opportunities for research and internships, and all of our students are guaranteed this kind of high impact engaged learning experience, again, regardless of their major. And if you're looking for an extra academic challenge, Florida Southern also has a really wonderful honors program. And perks of this honors program includes priority housing and class registration. But the main draw to the program is the opportunity to conduct a capstone and thesis project. The honors program does require a separate application, and that does open on October 1st, which is tomorrow. And more information about those requirements, because we did change those this year, they can be found on our website as well. As an extension of our engaged learning philosophy and learning experience, we do have these 3 guarantees for our students, and these guarantees are study abroad, a professional internship, and graduation in 4 years. And these, again, are guaranteed to all of our students regardless of major, and it's up to you whether or not you take advantage of these offerings. So the first guarantee that I really like to highlight is this travel study guarantee, and we offer this guarantee through our junior journey program, and that's a 7 to 10 day trip over school breaks in either your junior or senior year. You do go with a professor, so it does have an academic component to it, but you get to do a lot of fun things as well. And because it doesn't take any time out of your class schedule, you are more than welcome to go on a trip that's outside of your major of study. You also receive course credit for these trips, but the best part about them is that they are at little to no additional cost to our students, which is super, super awesome. And we do have domestic and international options depending on your comfort level or what trip you're wanting to go on and what you're wanting to get out of this trip as well. Some domestic examples are our pre-law program has gone to DC to sit in on some cases, tour different Capitol buildings. We've also taken students to New York to look at all the museums, see some Broadway shows, meet with Florida Southern alum that live in the area and are working in the arts field in some sort of capacity. We've also had the Career and Resource Center take our students to Seattle, where they were able to meet with recruiters from Boeing, different places like that. They also were able to go to Vancouver to see a Canucks game. So like I said, it's definitely a mixture of business and pleasure as well. In terms of international trips, our students have gone pretty much everywhere. They've gone to Scotland, England, Italy, France, Spain, Russia, Taiwan, South Africa. They've gone to Australia, New Zealand, pretty much all over the place. So some of these programs also do have a full semester option, but we also do have some extended trips that take place over the summer, which is called a main master. So we definitely have a variety of different travel study options. And this just ensures that the majority of our students are able to get a travel study experience. And 70% of our students do take advantage of these opportunities for sure. In terms of internships, we do, again, guarantee all of our students internships regardless of their major. And this is just more important now than ever because 95% of employers are looking for new hires with experience. So an internship really does allow you to be a competitive candidate once you enter the job market. Students have the option to do internships locally during the school year. Because Central Florida does have a lot of career options for a variety of fields. So students have the option of staying again locally, or you can arrange to complete internships closer to home over school breaks, or you can go to somewhere new, even further away if that's something that you're interested in as well. For example, this particular slide, the picture in the middle, is a student that did the Disney College program. We are, again, 45 minutes away from Disney, so we do have several students that are accepted into the Disney College program each year, but we've also had students go as far away as South Africa to work at a rhino orphanage. We've even had a student, her name is Natalie Barton. She went to the Philippines for a summer to work as a birthing nurse there as well. So tons of different options for internships, and much like kind of our engaged learning opportunities, they look different depending on what your career goals are. And we have so many resources for you to take advantage of to find internships and professional experience that works best for you. Our last guarantee is to graduate in 4 years or less. And I know that that sounds kind of self-explanatory because a 4-year degree should obviously take 4 years. But research has been finding that students are actually taking somewhere between 5 to 6 years on average to graduate from college. And that's awesome if you need to take some extra time, but that can also end up costing you up to 40% more on your college education. And that's not a financial burden that we want to put on our students. So we do have this guarantee in place, and we are able to guarantee this because in addition to literally everything that I've already talked about, students are also paired with an academic advisor in their field of study as soon as they are on campus. A lot of time, those are the professors that you've already been studying under throughout your 4 years. You meet with your advisor several times per year just to make sure that you're on track for graduation. And we're also transfer credit friendly, so you may be able to come into college with some college level courses under your belt as well. So why is all of this important? Well, I mean, it's super important because it does translate into post-graduation success. So a third of our students go on to a graduate program, and the remaining 2/3 of our students enter the workforce. So most importantly though, I mean, 97% of our students report achieving their post-graduation goals within 1 year of graduating from FSC. And basically that just means 97% of our students are either in a graduate program or are employed within a year after graduating from Florida Southern. And on this slide, you can see the logos of some institutions and employers that our students had joined after graduation. Now I know that academics are obviously an important part of your college experience, but I also want to take a time to talk about student life because Florida Southern prides itself on being a true campus community. In fact, students are required to live on campus for all 4 years. This means that you're guaranteed to have housing on campus for all 4 years. We kind of call it our unofficial 4th guarantee, which is really exciting for our students. We do have 60 different housing options, including on-campus dorms as well as apartment complexes near campus for our upperclassmen. And our students really love this aspect of Florida Southern because it really does create a community feeling on campus. So you're never, ever going to be alone, which is nice. Food is also a really big consideration when choosing a college. So I do want to mention that we also have 9 different dining options across campus. So we're able to accommodate a variety of like diets and culinary palates. So if you're a vegan, we have options for that, vegetarian, gluten-free. We're able to accommodate for all of those different dietary restrictions and options as well. Some of our dining options even are, national brands like Starbucks. We have a Steak and Shake on campus. We just got a Boar's Head Deli, which is super nice. We have a Fresh and Smoothie, but we also have some of our own brands as well. So we have a food truck on campus called Happy Place that has the best barbecue. There's a brick oven pizza place on campus, and we have several different options for like grilled food, burgers, different things like that. In terms of athletics, we do have 20 NCAA Division II sports teams on campus. And our teams have their national championships under our belt. So there's definitely a ton of school spirit surrounding Florida Southern athletics. Our mascot is the moccasin, and that is the snake, not the shoe. The shoe would not be very intimidating whatsoever. And you'll often hear that abbreviated to MOCS. So if you ever hear me say MOCS, it's talking about the Florida Southern Moccasins. We do have recruiting for those varsity NCAA Division II sports, but it is very competitive and it's handled by the coaches directly. So if you are interested in athletics, we encourage you to fill out the prospective student athlete questionnaire on our website, which is fscmocs.com. You can also find the coach's contact information on the website as well. We also have several different club sports, including NCAA Division I club water skiing. We also have equestrian, esports, ice hockey, and cheerleading as well. If you're not quite at the club level or the NCAA Division II level, that's totally okay. We also have a ton of options within our wellness program, our wellness center for intramural sports. We do rotating ones depending on the semester, but we typically have your more traditional options like flag football, kickball, ultimate frisbee, different things like that. We also do some rotating fun ones. So we've done inner tube water polo. A couple of years ago, we did Mario Kart tournament, but it wasn't on the screen. They built out a track and had scooters, and the dodgeballs were the red turtles. So it was really, really fun for our students. Kind of was a hot mess, but in the best way possible. We also have some intramural programs for students who maybe don't want to be, athletically challenged. So we do board game tournaments. We've done trivia tournaments, cornhole tournaments, rock, paper, scissors tournaments. So there really is something for everyone in terms of intramurals, and about half of our student body population does participate in intramural sports. Outside of intramurals, we do have over 100 student clubs and organizations. So there's also a ton of ways to get involved on campus. We do have 6 sororities and 7 fraternities. We also have student government, multicultural organizations, performing arts organizations, and tons of different special interest groups. So there's also really something for everyone in that respect as well. Some of those special interest groups include like a Harry Potter club, a Disney club, there's a board game club, there's several different book clubs. There's tons of ways to get involved. Florida Southern is United Methodist affiliated, but it is in no way, shape, or form a requirement to either be Methodist to get into Florida Southern or attend, or you don't have to take a religion class or go to a church service if you don't want to. But we do have the options there if you are wanting to take advantage of those and grow in your faith. We have non-denominational church services every Sunday, and we also have Catholic Mass every Sunday as well. In addition to those services, we do have 10 campus ministries on campus. So that includes a Catholic ministry, a Jewish Hallel, student-led worship groups, Bible study groups, and several different service ministries too. So now that I've shared all about Florida Southern and everything that we have to offer, let's talk a little bit about how to officially become a Florida Southern MOC. So first and foremost, it is 100% totally free to apply, regardless of how you do so. And our application is available on our Florida Southern website, but we're also available via Common Application and Coalition app as well. So in addition to that application, we also need your high school transcript, at least 1 letter of recommendation from either a guidance counselor, a teacher, a coach, a director, a community service coordinator, basically anyone that isn't a family member. We also need a personal statement, and that will be included on the Florida Southern application as well as common application. Coalition is the only one that you might have to submit something separately for. And this year we've also adopted a test optional policy. So students can either submit an ACT or SAT score, or you can opt not to send those in. It's totally up to you as to which one you want to take advantage of. Students can send in your materials one at a time as they become available, so you don't have to worry about getting all of these supplemental items together at the same time in order to submit your application. You can go ahead, fill out your personal information, submit that essay, and then send everything else as it comes in. Because I know, especially right now, if you're taking your SATs, if you took them a couple weeks ago, your scores might not be available for another month or so, but you can still go ahead and send that application in and just get one thing checked off of your boxes. We are enrolling in Mission though, so once we do receive everything, it should take us about 3 to 6 weeks to get you a decision back. We are holistic in our application review approach. So that is why we require that personal statement, that letter of recommendation as well. But if you do want a general idea of what our students come in with, that class of 2024 middle 50% profile is listed here. So last year, our students had a middle 50% of a 23 to a 29 ACT, an 1130 to a 1300 SAT, and a 3.82 GPA. That was weighted, so we do recalculate your GPA and give you extra weighting for things like honors classes, dual enrollment, IB, ACE, all that good stuff. But again, these are just middle 50%, so we have students above these scores and below these as well. Aside from the application and making sure that it's a good fit for you, I do also understand that cost is a major factor in the decision-making process. So I did want to touch a little bit on financial aid as well. When you apply to Florida Southern, you're automatically considered for an academic-based scholarship, so you don't need to apply separately. And this will be based on your GPA, or if you submit test scores, it'll be based on your GPA and test scores. Last year, these scholarships ran anywhere from $7,000 to $21,000 each year, so that can be potentially a really big chunk of change. We are also an aid stacking institution, so we do encourage all of our students to file the FAFSA, at least for the first year, because we do also offer some need-based aid opportunities as well. There are some departments on campus that also offer specific scholarships based on audition, portfolio review, interview, and athletic recruitment as well. There are a few other scholarships called our Premier and Prestige scholarships. These scholarships do have some higher eligibility requirements and will require you to submit a test score. And they do also require a separate application and potentially an interview as well. More information on these qualifications and how to apply can be found on our website by searching the words Prestige. And finally, best of all, like I said again, Florida Southern is an aid stacking institution, so we do accept any outside scholarships a student receives. So anything that you receive from an online scholarship, if you have a community organization in your area that's offering scholarships, basically we're able to accept those and stack them on top of your academic-based scholarship, as long as there aren't any stipulations as to how you can use those scholarships. That's pretty much all of the general information that I have about Florida Southern, but I definitely encourage you to visit our visit page for both virtual and in-person visit opportunities, especially if you're wanting to learn more. We are open for in-person tours, and we have 3 open tours a week, so at 9 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m. They do have limited capacity, so if you have trouble signing up for a tour time, it's probably just because we're at capacity. So definitely make sure that you are registering for these tours in advance. And we also are trying to ensure that we have enough space in between everyone to follow social distancing guidelines as well. Aside from in-person tours, we have a ton of different virtual opportunities. So we do offer an online information session several times per week. I believe right now it's at 4 times per week, and they're at various times. So they'll all be in Eastern time, but we typically offer them at 2, 4, and 7. And now that the semester is rolling, we are working with our faculty to schedule some academic discipline-specific webinars that will be happening in the evenings. So these are called mock talk webinars, and they're typically happening once per week in the evening as well. And that schedule will be up on the website too. We are also offering 2 virtual open houses. One just happened this Saturday, but we will also be hosting another one on Saturday, November 14th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. This is called a virtual day on campus, and it's a really cool opportunity because you get another overview of Florida Southern, but you also get to go into a Zoom room with some faculty members in your major of study, and they'll be giving a program overview and also be there to answer some questions that you might have about the program and specifically how it works at Florida Southern. There's also Student Life Expo, different sessions about pre-health and health professions, if that's something that you're interested in. We'll also have a student panel and students go around on Zoom giving a tour of campus. So even though you aren't here in person, it does feel like you are, even though you're sitting and you're at home in your room. And then we also have different Q&A sessions with counselors as well. So if you have any questions about the application process, I definitely think that this virtual day on campus is the best opportunity to learn more. And if you're unable to attend any of the webinars, we do have a ton of recordings available on the website as well that can be viewed at any time. Basically, just to wrap up, I just wanted to remind you again that no matter where you are in the submissions process, I mean, I am the point of contact for you and for Missouri students, so please don't hesitate to reach out. All of my contact information is listed up here on the top left-hand corner. And you can also follow us on any of the social media accounts. So feel free to give those a follow and get a feel for what campus is really like. We do have several students that will take over the stories. So that's always really, really fun when you're able to kind of see it from the student perspective as well. But thank you so much for attending this evening. I'll definitely stick around if you guys have any questions. So how much is dorm pricing? That's a really good question. So dorms typically, we kind of talk about it in terms of room and board, and it can be between $11,000 and $12,000 each year. I know that sounds like a lot, but part of that academic-based scholarship is that it's split into 2 different parts. So part of your academic scholarship goes towards tuition and fees, and the other part of your academic scholarship goes towards room and board, so you won't be paying that much out of pocket. That's a good question, thank you. Any other questions? Cool. I think I also have a question about audition and portfolio review. That's a really good question as well. Depending on what fine arts major you're wanting to pursue, you definitely will have to submit an audition or portfolio. Usually auditions are done in person, but obviously considering how everything is going this year, that won't necessarily be the case. We're still trying to figure out how the audition process is going to work this year, but more information about that will be found on our website, which is flsouthern.edu. You can go to the specific major website to find more information about the audition. We do typically also submit or accept video auditions, and you'll be able to submit your portfolios to the mail as well. Is the photography part of the business major or is it separate? Photography is definitely under fine arts and not business. Like I said, we do have students that double major. So if you're wanting to pursue both of those options, you definitely have the opportunity to do so. I also have a question about the nursing program. So like I said, the nursing program is direct entry. So what that means is that you apply for admission to the nursing program as you apply for the college. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone by submitting an application to Florida Southern. The only thing that I do want to give you guys a heads up about is that we are test optional for Florida Southern in every major except for nursing. So that nursing program does still require some kind of test score. It can either be the SAT or ACT. We do super score, so we take the highest score in each category. So if you've taken the SAT or ACT multiple times, definitely send us all the scores that you have. What else can I help with? Come on, give me all your questions. Oh yes, I have a question about hurricanes. We are in Florida, so hurricanes do happen every now and then, but we take our student safety really seriously. We monitor the hurricanes, we make sure that they're not going to come our way, and if they do, we give students the opportunity to go home. But if you don't have the opportunity to go home, we also have storm safe areas that students can stay in. That's typically our Branscombe auditorium. There's no windows or anything like that. It's all concrete, so it's really, really safe. And we give the option for students to hang out there if they need a place to stay. What are the housing options for first year students? That's a really good question too. So we have several different options for first year students. So we have Nicholas and Wesley. Those are our two newest options. They overlook the lake, so it's a nice view to wake up to. And those are co-ed by floor, and they're more suite style, so it's about 3 students sharing a bathroom. Then we have Joseph Reynolds Hall and Allen Spivey. Joseph Reynolds Hall is all female and Allen Spivey is all male. Those are more community style. I like to call them pod style. It's only about 8 to 10 students sharing the bathroom, which is really not that bad. And those bathrooms were actually just renovated a couple of years ago as well. Our final option for first year students is Dell Hall, and that's typically all female as well. And that's more community style too. And can you choose how many people you share dorms with? Yes, so we definitely have a couple different options. We have single options. Those are typically set aside for students who need single options for medical purposes, but if we have some leftovers, that is given priority based on deposit date. So the sooner you deposit, the more likely you are to get your housing choice. But we also have doubles, so it's you and a roommate. We have triple options, which is you and 2 roommates, and we have quadruple options, which is you and 3 other roommates. Regardless of which option you choose, if you meet someone on campus or through a campus event or through Facebook, that's a really popular way as well. You both can request each other. If you have a friend that's coming to Florida Southern as well, you guys can request to live with each other. Or if you don't have anyone, you can fill out this form. They like to call it, community living likes to call it like eHarmony for roommates. So you can fill out a form and asks a lot of your preferences about studying, your social habits, different things like that. And they'll match you with someone based off of your answers as well. These are good questions. All right. When is the enrollment deposit due? That's a good question too. So if you like what you see, decide that Florida Southern is the place for you. We have a couple of different options. So in terms of our application, we do have an early action option, early decision option, and regular decision. So early decision and early action are both of those applications and supplemental materials are due by November 1st. But the difference between the two is that early decision is binding, whereas early action is not. So if you take the early decision option, which is binding, if you're accepted to Florida Southern, you would have to submit a non-refundable enrollment deposit by January 15th. Otherwise, if you're applying under early action or regular decision, you have until May 1st to submit your enrollment deposit, and your enrollment deposit is refundable until May 1st as well. I still, if you want housing options, different things like that, and especially if you know where you want to attend and it's Florida Southern, I definitely recommend submitting your enrollment deposit sooner rather than later because Housing is given priority based on deposit date, but it's totally up to you when you want to submit that deposit for sure. And when does your application open? So our application for fall 2021 is already open, but if you are looking for fall 2022, our application typically opens in May. So you could apply before you even finish your junior year. So definitely keep an eye out for May. That is when our applications usually open. Awesome. Is there anything else that I can help with? Do you accept AP? Yes, we do. So we do accept like advanced credits of all kinds. So if you have dual enrollment, AP, IB, ACE credits, AP transfers over as long as you get a 3 or above on the exam. Some courses require a 4 or above, but there's an equivalency table online so you can see what score you need for an AP exam. But most of our courses take a 3 or above as that credit. For IB, it's typically a 4 or above. For ACE, it's typically a C or above. And then for dual enrollment, it's a C or above in the class as long as it's an accredited college. Cool. Anything else? No other questions? All right. Well, thank you so much for attending again. And again, I'm your admissions counselor, so if you guys need anything, just let me know. I'm always here and happy to help.
Thank you so much. On behalf of Missouri ACAC, I'd like to thank you all for attending. You're going to receive, once you close out of the survey, you're going to receive, or once you close out of the webinar, you're going to receive a 4-question survey. We ask that you fill that out. There are additional sessions for another couple weeks on our website. So if you could take a look at moacac.org, you'll be able to see the additional sessions available. And then we do have a recording. This recording of the session will be available on the MOACAC website in about a week. Thank you again, and have a wonderful evening.